It's time to hit the road and discover Texas with Annie Studebaker. Get ready to travel deep into the heart of the Lone Star State, meeting friendly folks and exploring fascinating places. Experience a way of life like nowhere else in the world as we uncover the rich history and culture of Texas. Discover adventure, discover excitement, discover Texas with Annie Studebaker.
As people become more aware of the effects of herbicides and pesticides, the demand for healthier and safer foods has reached record levels. PPC Farms is a prime example of a conventional farming operation transitioning to all organic practices. Founded in 1972, PPC Farms is an innovative company dedicated to bringing better and healthier choices to families across the country. This commitment stems from the lives and stories of its owners. I sat down with them to learn more. Marcelino Garza is the president and CEO of PPC Farms.
I had a dream, that one day I was going to own a company, a produce company. I saw my grandfather, my father, farm. We were farming in Mexico and it was hard, but at the same time, it was something that brought our family together. I would come from Mexico to university here, Pan American, and then go back every afternoon and then still work on the farm, taking our diesels and putting diesel into tractors and helping out, also driving tractors and things like that. It became natural to me. I got the opportunity to come and work for this great company, PPC Farms, and lead it into Mexico. I had the privilege of work for them for 10 years and got to know the in and outs of the business, the sales, the growing side, the marketing, and we ended up purchasing the company.
Building a successful company means building a successful team. Luckily, Marcelino didn't have to look far to start.
My name is Patricia Garza. Marcelino Garza, my husband, the president of PPC Farms, had passion. He was passionate about a dream that he had, that God placed in his heart, to become, owner of a company that produces vegetables. Vegetables, not just the regular one, but the healthier ones. I am an accountant by trade. I've worked in maquiladoras for 10 years. That's manufacturing accounting. And my contribution to the business is providing the information on time, accurate, and inventories to the salespeople and everything they need for our clients.
I'm Anwar Garza. I'm one of the owners at PPC Farms. I head the marketing and food safety department. Yeah, we're born in the fields, you could say. My older sisters, my brother, and the first memories that I have are cornfields, grain fields, seeing vegetables, seeing asparagus, seeing every type of vegetable. I'm 2-3 years old, and I learned this culture, the farming life. That's what we did. That's what we will continue to do. It was always being in the fields. And luckily, I have these great partners, including, it starts off with my brother Marcelino, that gave me the opportunity. I was fresh out of college. I didn't have an experience yet. They believed in me. I have a biology background, yet I had a marketing background on my actual degree. So what occurred was the fact that around 2008, there was a lot of health scares. And from that comes the whole initiative, the GFSI, the Global Food Safety Initiative. So out of that, we had to start getting certificates. What do these certificates mean? At the time, we were just like, well, that means we're gonna have to start doing documentation and basically start testing. Luckily, I had the biology background, so it just made sense to me, to somebody like me that's like, hey, we need to start doing this, and that, and testing on everything.
The next members of the team came from a little further away.
My name is Isaac Kim, and I'm one of the partners here at PPC Farms. And my background is not as interesting as maybe other partners that we have, but I'm come from California. I was in a church project here in McAllen, Texas, and through my mutual friend, I got to meet with Garza's. And that's how I got into the business. I'm a licensed engineer in Texas and California, structural engineer, And nothing is impossible for me to do. If the food safety requires that I have drains everywhere, I could make that happen. If food safety requires me to open up a big wall, concrete walls, I could do that. If it requires that they need some type of special machines, I am not afraid to engage in designing and making that work. And for that, I hope that's how I contribute to the company.
My name is Lois Kim, and I'm from California. When I met my husband and got married, I put my educational backgrounds in the back burner and started to raise a family. I actually have a degree in conservation and resource studies from UC Berkeley. In my previous life, I was some sort of a hippie. But after I married and I raised my children for a long time, I kind of forgot about that until one day my husband came back to me. It was like after 20-some years of marriage. He said, we're moving to Texas and we're going to invest in a farming business. And then I said, what is this? What's going on? You know, like, why are we moving to Texas? And what do you mean farming?
I love this area. I love RGV. You could talk to my wife about it. I said, one day I may even die here, okay? That's how much I love this area. And that's how much I love these people in this RGV, that I'm thankful to God that I'm here with them and, you know, eat with them, you know, talk to them and work with them every day.
I thought hard and I prayed and I was at a point at that time where I was being really concerned with the food I was feeding my children, how so much of it is coming from boxes and processed plants. And I was becoming very interested in natural, organic way of living. So I said, okay, that's what you want to do, let's do it. So another thing that I do here is PR. So we do a lot of public relations. And basically that's about telling the public about what we're doing. We're a great farm. We grow so much organic and local produce down here in the valley, and even our company, we supply to national chains and grocery stores and restaurants and everything. People talk about American dreams. It's not just coming where the opportunities, but it's basically taking everything that you have and just risking it. A lot of people putting everything that they had before in their original country or whatever, or living in the established area and just going to the pioneering spirit, you know, going to the wilderness. That's the attitude I had at the time, and we had all our savings at the time. Whatever we had, we scraped it up together and we invested into the farming business, and we ended up in South Texas.
Those first few steps weren't easy. 2008 was a year of the Great Recession and money was hard to come by.
One of the challenges was getting banks to believe in us. And the UTRGB, the wonderful people of UTRGB, like Maria Juarez, Colin Kane, helped us to develop a business plan that had all the aspects of the company, which was basically informing the company how we would start and who would be the end of the climb, and putting together our financials that would project the company's values and goals as a company. So it was very hard back then. As I mentioned, the economy was not a good economy. It was hard on startup businesses, but with their help and knocking on doors, we saw almost more than 15 banks, I believe. So finally we found somebody that believed in our project and invested in us. And therefore, at that time, within 2 years, we paid off all of our debts, and we became independent owners of our own company. And also, after that, we continue working with Colin Kane and Maria Juarez. Up to today, we're still working with them in new projects to open new doors to our product, like value-added products. And I think it's been exciting.
When we return, we'll take a closer look at all the effort PPC puts into keeping our food safe.
Hold on to your hat. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. PPC Farms is a company that takes special pride in putting its customers' health and safety first. Doing so takes a lot of hard work.
You might ask, well, what are the things that are potentially harmful to us? And there's a lot of them. There's Listeria, there's E. coli, there's Salmonella, and they're microbiological pathogens that we can never even see, but the fact is that they're out there. So what do we do to combat it? We test our irrigation water, we test our facilities, we test our harvest workers. That's how it is, just to make sure, because your average sneeze, your average bathroom break could potentially contaminate us. So that's why we take it that step further when it comes to food safety. And through the Global Gap certification is a way that we could get a third-party auditor. In our case, we get audited by a company out of Belgium. And this last time we had a Peruvian auditor. So we're global on the mass sense. But we still got to keep in mind that at the lower level, it means that we're actually testing. And that started in 2008 for us, right when the company had just started. So as soon as we hit the ground running, we were out on our certifications. From then on, we also got our organic certification. All of us felt that there was a need for organics in South Texas. There had been some in the past, but we felt that we could take it to the next level with our marketing backgrounds and the fact that we had our certifications and we could sell to any retailer in the nation. So we wanted to introduce the Texas Organics.
But it was very difficult to get started because nobody else was doing it. There was no information in terms of what kind of seed would do well, how the soil situation was, the pest pressures. So we were thinking about, like, how do we get started? And then one day, UTRGV, the College of Science, brought a new professor to teach sustainable agriculture. And he came up with a group called SOAR, and he invited our company to attend. So I went as the representative of the company because I was the least busy. And it was an inaugural meeting for SOAR, and I met with other people in the area who were interested in organic farming. Some were in citrus, some had small-scale organic farms. All throughout the valley. And we brainstormed and we talked about what our issues were and what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go. And that's where we met a lot of the key people who helped us be what we are today.
From there, we got to work. Everything has to be approved by a national program. We have excellent partners in the NCAT, which are basically our local branch of auditors, you could say. We got together with the Texas Department of Agriculture, and from there we started transitioning land.
Their interest in organic farming goes beyond business. Both the Garza and the Kim families have personal reasons for pursuing a healthier way of life.
For a time, I had cancer. I did. Skin cancer and things like that. But at the same time, regardless of if you have skin cancer, if you have any type of cancer, once the word cancer hits, touches you, then you think, so what do I do different? My thing was, well, I need to eat healthier, for one. Though we're always in the sun, we try to prevent. Now you use sunscreens and things like that, But one of the things that really touched me was, how can I help other people out there that have severe cancers, not just skin cancer like me, that you could help them eat properly and not eat with products that have pesticides or insecticides or herbicides or things like that. So our goal was, hey, how can we make a difference now? I have two wonderful twins, and Natalie and Kaylin. I'm always thinking about them and say, hey, why don't they eat products that are healthier for them? And how can we make it healthier? And our vision was, let's grow organics. Let's really grow organics the right way.
When I was a stay-at-home mom, when I was shopping for my kids, when I go to the grocery store, there was the choices. Do I buy organic or do I buy conventional? So I only purchased organic when the price wasn't, there was not a huge difference. After I started to work in this industry, I try to buy organic every single time. The reason being, now I know what it means to grow organically. In order to grow organically, instead of using the chemicals you notice that there's a little yellowing, okay, spray it. You notice there are little holes, okay, spray it. All that chemical is gonna go somewhere. It's not just gonna dissipate into thin air. I don't want to be putting that in my mouth. And yes, it is expensive to do our business organically, but if we do it smart, we can bring down the cost.
What we're trying to do here at PPC is lower our cost, trying to, get it to it's a conscious buy, which is not just on pricing, is on health related issues. Make your choice on health.
Then instead of putting the money into the chemicals to control, we can put it into our labor or the timely management, integrated pest management, taking care of the soil to make the yields higher. So those are some of the things that we can do organically. Yes, the price will be higher, but after I became part of this business and know more about the industry, I think every little penny extra that I pay is justified.
It's exhaustive work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of documentation, a lot of testing. But the fact is that it gives us the peace of mind at the end of the day as owners, as people that are literally feeding babies, elderly, the sick. It gives us the peace of mind that we're out there making a difference. The fact that we could get our beets, our cabbages, and be proud and be aware of what we're serving them.
One of my passions is to bring the cost of organic foods down so that we can make it available for everyone. And so that people can have the choice to say, I would like to buy conventional or I would like to buy organic. So it's their choice, leave it at their hands. So that's my goal. Really, that's my goal as a person and as a company and as a mom, to be able to provide that at every level.
Parents are always worrying about the health of their children. Safe, nutritious food is readily available, but it doesn't do any good if we can't get it to them. Lois Kim is leading an effort to get PPC's organic produce into local school cafeterias.
We need to get into the K through 12 school systems and give this organically grown, just nutritious products into their bodies when they're just growing and where it's going to make the most difference. So if we were able to somehow come up with a program that could attract the students in field trips and that let them learn about how farming is done, where their food comes from, why it's important that we have to take care of our soil and our pollinators, and then at the same time have them some kind of experience being in the farm, whether they are helping with the soil sampling or picking the fruit, vegetable themselves, they will start feeling the connection to the land. And when that, if we are able to formulate some kind of relationship between the farm and the school districts, maybe it'll help us to make that bridge.
Today, PPC Farms produces 14 million pounds of onions, 6 million pounds of cabbage, 5.5 million pounds of southern greens, which are distributed coast to coast across the United States and Canada. And every day, they convert more and more of their operation from conventional to organic farming.
So every year we're going to be adding more organic and transitioning, towards the organic until we get our goal of 100% organic.
It is very rewarding to know that we are contributing to our community and the world we live around us by providing good, healthy choices. I mean, I feed my children. My twins get excited when we're bringing lettuce or broccoli from our fields. They get so excited to go and get to pick their own, what they're gonna eat. And so it gets them excited and how to bring recipes and to our house. And since I'm not a cook, in our blog and our website, you can find easy tips for professionals like me that can prepare a food, a healthy food, and a fun food for kids as well, that can make it easier on your family.
The hours were long, don't get me wrong, and they still are. You know, the work hours are hard, but it's that being out in the sunshine that really like motivates me. The fact that we see the product from buying the seed all the way to a retail shelf, and that's what got me interested. And at first I was like, well, what's gonna happen, you know, long hours and all that the first few months, and then you see the actual product and it makes you proud, you know, and actually seeing it, tasting it, giving it to your friends, giving it to your family, and knowing that it's safe products, you know, that we know where the water comes from to what's underneath the topsoil. It's a great job, and I can't say it's a job because it's a lifestyle that we live. You know, we're the ones that are actually spreading the whole safe, sustainable agriculture. We're walking the walk. So.
It's nice to know that there are people out there like the men and women of PPC Farms who strive to provide healthy foods for us and for our families. Remember, your body is your temple, and we are what we eat. This is Annie Studebaker with Discover Texas.